In order to be able to plan really quickly for the week, it is imperative, vital, and crucial to spend a couple of hours at least, perhaps even more, before school even starts. I like to do mine during the summer, uninterrupted time. I'm more productive, and look at the what should happen at the end of the course. What's the metric? What's going to say someone has mastered the content of the course? I personally have a proficiency oriented approach and believe very strongly in that. I think traditional tests are quite fun to do as exercises, but I'm not convinced that they build proficiency, which is the goal. So, the very first thing after that, once you've established what are the end goals, are you measuring on the ACTFL scale? Are you measuring on the CEFR scale as an AP test? Obviously, this is Spanish 1, which is very different than that level. And you want to go through and make sure that you understand all of your can-dos, your vocabulary, and your grammar. What is it that they're going to be learning? So that's really crucial to have that all mapped out. As you see, this is a whole course full of lessons already done, but a textbook would be lined out that way. Now, breaking it down into units, what are the outcomes of each unit? What do they need to be able to do? What do the learners need to be able to do? So here, I always start with Harry Wong. First 2 weeks, nothing but structures, routines, framework, and it's great because you get to do it in the target language, so they're doing nothing but acquiring language. And then recycling every day. Now, those routines are really important. You want to think about, what are your routines? Do you have a routine to open your class every day? Are you doing the calendar? That will save you tons of time to do calendar, weather, day, date. They'll get lots of numbers, the months, the days, etc. You can even skip over many of those activities in your textbook. They'll just acquire them. Do you do music some days of the week? Do you do reading other days of the week? Do you do videos some days of the week? Games, you get the picture. So what structures are already in there? Do you do some listening comprehension every day? I personally find these beginning level courses there's so much output the first couple of months till they can really work independently. Lots and lots and lots of presentations and games. Also, in that time then that you have sort of outside of your routines is where really I would say all the formative stuff comes in, all the practice. Then they can look so many different ways, right? They can be textbook exercises, speaking exercises, immersive quizzes, listening comprehension, skits, dialogues, simulations, games, board races, fluency writing, speaking, group speaking activities where you give them some help. They get to create the question card games, verb games. Really, the bulk of them acquiring whatever that language is in the unit. I tend to do grammar at the end because then the grammar would have already been embedded in all of those activities, in the immersive quizzes, and the things we talk about. It's just so much easier. It saves so much time. And of course, that practice leads up into performances, right? You can do IPAs, conversations, dialogue, skits, speeches, Socratic seminars, oral performances, presentations, paragraphs, etc. And then the question I always ask myself, for every activity, don't feel compelled to do every single activity, The juice has to be worth the squeeze. I don't do anything just to do it. I'm sure you don't do, but sometimes we are, we might be given prescriptive things to follow or feel like all the activities in a certain chapter add up to something. If they're not effective, I don't do it. Or if I don't enjoy it, often we don't do it. Some of the hard stuff is really important. So just to share with you a little bit more in depth so you can have a look. I'll link 2 weeks so you can see what the first couple of weeks looks like in a beginning level class. So I hope you have a great week.